Hello guys, and welcome to Vertical Academy. And in today's video we will be looking at business studies, and this is 2018 internal grade 9, and this is the paper. Okay, so for those that if you've got the paper, you can just get the paper and look at the question that we are going through, section C of this business studies paper. So it's about balancing this trial balance, and we have been provided the trial balance that is not balanced. So the question is that we have to do the corrected version of Muma's trial balance as at 31 or 31st October 2017. Now, this is going to carry 10 marks after you provide a corrected trial balance. So for those that are watching me, remember to support, subscribe, and also share this video. So I will just walk you through the meaning of each item that has been provided under the details column, because I feel like once you understand the meaning of stock, the meaning of debtors, the meaning of creditors, that is going to help us understand to which column within the trial balance do you put each one of them, because you don't just have to guess that one. So let's pay attention, get your pen, or rather pencil and pen paper, and let's do the correction of this trial balance. So what you can see is we have stock, opening stock, because this is about 2017. We have carriage outwards, purchases, sales, debtors, creditors, returns inward, returns outward, and motor vehicle. So now what I want you to understand is we have to know what is the meaning of stock. So stock, these are simply goods that you have in your shop. It can be anything that you're providing, okay? That could be counted as stock. And those are the things that you're providing in terms of exchange with money for any transaction to happen. So you must have stock. And then the second one item that we have is carriage outwards. So what is carriage outward? So the meaning of carriage outward is that imagine you are the owner of the business. Maybe you're selling potatoes, or even let's say charcoal. You're selling different kind of things. Again, so imagine a customer comes over to you and they want to buy, let's say, 10 bags of charcoal, maybe 50 bags. Okay, the volume size. 50 bags of charcoal, and they want to buy them, 10 of them. So 50 kg bags of charcoal, and then they want 10 of them. So if a customer comes alone, they can't carry all those 10 bags of charcoal for 50 kg. So they can't do that. So you, as the owner of the business or the owner of the shop, you decide now to provide them with some sort of transportation. Now, the cost of transporting those goods, stock, which is charcoal, is what we are referring to carriage outward, because it's now coming out of the business, providing to this client or customer. So carriage outward is more like an expense, okay, that you need to cover, so that for a business to move, you have to provide a certain form of transportation, and transport is an expense. And now that transport is a special one, which you are calling carriage outwards. So that goes to the, this should be able to go this side, okay? And this, now stock, these are good, so they belong to you, okay? So the stock, which side of the trial balance should you show them, is the debit part, or rather side of the trial balance. So we're going to show that on the debit side. So this goes that side, okay? Because at the end of the day, we must be able to have a trial balance that is balanced, because we have done the correct thing. Now remember, the trial balance isn't an account, okay? The trial balance is not an account. It's just sort of like a means, or rather a mechanism to understand, or rather to know whether your transaction posting, maybe sales account, purchases account, debtors account, stock account, has been done properly. And now those of each of those accounts, sales, purchases, and so on, must now be transferred to the trial balance. Okay, so that we understand. If it balances, then that implies that we have done the correct posting from a source document all the way up to the special account, sales, debtors, and so on, up to the trial balance. So if that balances, then we have done the right thing. Okay, so this should go here. Okay, so now purchases, we are talking about purchases. So what is going to happen now is whatever you purchase belongs to your account, because you're going to exchange that with money, and then they give you those stock, and that belongs to your purchases account. So there's a relationship between purchases and stock account. So what you're going to do, which side of this trial balance are we going to show the purchases? So purchases should come to this side. Okay, it's always on the debit side, and then the sales. Okay, so meaning the sales you are selling. So whatever you're selling is actually given out to the customers. They are the ones that are receiving. So when you look at it in terms of our transaction, so there must be a receiver and also a giver. So me as the owner of the business or the business owner, I'm giving out those goods. So I'm actually taking out from my account. So my account is actually reducing in terms of the stock that I have. So this means that the sales should be shown onto the credit side. So this should go there. And then what about the debtors? Now the debtors, these are just people that owes money for your business. Okay, so somebody might come to you and then you might lend them some money. Maybe they could pay in 2 weeks time or in 1 week time, or even just based on the agreement condition. Okay, so they might come to you and you might give them money based on the agreement. So debtors, they are also owing you money that should be in your account. So this should be shown on the debit side of the account, of the trial balance. So this should come this side. And then what about creditors? Okay, so this should be a two-way point. So the creditors, these are the people to whom we owe money. Okay, so me as a business owner, maybe I didn't start my business with my own money, but I borrowed the money from someone. And then as the business is booming now, or the business booms, I make enough money that can be sustained, that can sustain the business after even removing all the liabilities. So now I can pay back the creditors. This could be the bank, this could be one of the family members, or anyone that might have lent me money, so that is attached to the business. So the creditors, this is shown onto the credit side, because this money is not belonging to us. Okay, so this is just fine. Okay, and then now returns inward. So returns inward is the opposite of returns outward. So returns inward means that it is inward toward your business. So every time you're dealing with accounts or business studies, you have to think about you are the owner of this business. Okay, and whatever is returns is being returned in your business account. Okay, so returns inward, the customer might have bought something, they go back, they don't like it, maybe it's something of the small size or oversized, so they might bring back that part of sales that we made to them. So they might not bring everything, but part of whatever they bought, we might have to refund them. Okay, so now because they are bringing back to our account, in our account, this is going to be on the debit side. Okay, so this is just fine. Okay, now what about returns outward? So returns outward is actually the opposite. Okay, I think I said something called returns inward is the opposite of returns outward, or returns outward is the opposite of returns inward. Okay, so now what you need to understand is returned outward. You, the business, also goes to the supplier. They supply you. Let's say, for example, you're buying tomatoes at Nakadori market or even at Sokon market. That's where your suppliers are. So you go there, maybe you want maybe 5 boxes of tomato, or maybe potatoes, whatever that you might actually supply. I mean, you might have bought from the suppliers. So the suppliers might give you something that is damaged inside, but you can't see them right there. So what are you supposed to do? you come to your shop, you start checking out things, and then you discover that, hey, maybe half of whatever you purchase from these suppliers is actually damaged or isn't what you are looking out to buy. So part of that is now returned out of the business, okay, out of a business. So this is onto the credit side of that, okay. So it is just fine, so there is no need to change that, okay. And then now motor vehicle. Each one of us, if you're watching this one, probably you might actually know this one. So motor vehicle, this is an asset, okay. So your business might be big, okay. Your business is big, and probably you might be providing transportation, or maybe you might be going to source for other stocks. Maybe within your vicinity, your stocks may not be available, so you might go off your district. Maybe you might go to Ndola or Mukoshi, or even just Chirabombwe, or anywhere as long as it's not within. So that vehicle might be needed to transport your goods afar, and obviously to deliver them to your shop. So motor vehicle, this is a fixed asset. Okay, remember what we said last time. There is a current assets and also a fixed asset. So fixed asset, they don't actually depreciate, but they are, of course they do depreciate, but over time, and obviously after many years of being used in the business. So now the motor vehicle is a fixed asset that should be shown on the debit side of the trial balance, and this is where we're going to show it. Okay. So is it on the correct side? So it's on the correct side. Okay. Now, once you add what is on the credit side, find that it's 95, more than what is on the credit side. So some entries were wrongly made, and this is what you are correcting. So what you're supposed to do is now, I'm just going to redo that. Okay, so now we are now going to correct it by writing those figures on the correct side. Okay, so this was supposed to be, okay. So now this is now the corrected trial balance. Now I want you to understand that so now before that you have to write the title on top of that trial balance. Muman's trial balance as at 31st October 2017. Okay. And this is now the corrected version of this trial balance. Now, once you add, okay, once you add what is on the debit side, you'll discover that you are going to have 92. And then also this one is going to be 92,500. So now the moment the sides, two sides of the trial balance balances up, this at least tells us that our way of doing the double entry has been done correctly, and this is how you can go about answering this question that came in 2018 for Business Studies Grade 9 Internal on question 2, section C. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to support, subscribe, and also like and share this video. It's bye-bye, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.